everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about when narcissism steals your child's childhood. Before I get into the video, I just want to clear up something that I said in my last video that I released on Monday. I actually misspoke. I said that I had to tell my kids that I was getting a divorce from my ex and that they were going to be upset about this, particularly my son. I don't know why I even said that or how that happened, but that's actually not what I meant to say. I have to tell my kids that we're moving. They already know about the divorce. They're okay with the divorce. They accept the divorce. They want me to get divorced. It's the moving that they're going to be devastated about. Today's Wednesday. I'm going to tell my kids this tomorrow. I am absolutely dreading it. I'm so afraid to tell them. It's going to devastate them, particularly my son. They're not going to want to move. I'm so terrified about this. In fact, the reason I'm waiting until tomorrow to tell them is because I'm hoping that God interferes and I don't have to do it. I know somebody who buys a lottery ticket every week just in case God wants to get him a lottery win. I kind of feel like I'm doing that. I'm putting it off until Thursday just in case God wants to help me out. However, I know that realistically, not that God can't do it, but realistically, there's a very good chance that tomorrow I'm going to have to devastate my children. So for any of you who pray, please, I'm asking you to pray for my children. Pray for me. I am so stressed out about this. I don't want to do it. They're going to be so devastated. They've already been traumatized enough. And to have to move and leave the home that they love and know is going to be scary for them. And the reality is my kids don't know this, but I don't even know how I'm going to get the heck out of here. I don't have any money. My ex left me financially devastated. That's why I have to sell the house. I don't know how I'm going to pay for movers. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay for the real estate agent. I don't know. It's devastating what narcissism does to families. It comes over you like a tidal wave or like a bomb blows up. And you don't know this. This is a thing. Nobody marries a narcissist knowing that they're a narcissist. You have no idea. I've been married for almost 20 years. I didn't know about narcissism. 20 years ago, couple years ago, if you had said anything about narcissism, I would have just thought that it was a vanity issue. Oh, you're talking about somebody that thinks they're good looking. That is not what narcissistic personality disorder is. I know you guys know that. Narcissistic personality disorder is complete devastation. This is somebody that has no concept of reality. They don't think about the future. They don't care about anybody. They have no empathy. Their family means nothing. They do not have any emotions. They are the true evil. They'll just do whatever they want and leave you holding everything. You stuck trying to keep everything together. All of a sudden, you're a single parent. You didn't sign up for this. You had no idea. And on top of that, you very likely don't get any family support from anybody else because narcissism runs in families. In my own situation, my entire family is full of narcissists and codependents. I am going against what I'm supposed to be doing, so I have no support at all. Now, I used to be codependent. I'm not codependent anymore. That is completely unacceptable. My entire family believe that my ex should be back at the house, that I'm wrong. It doesn't matter what he's done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how my kids feel. It doesn't matter. My ex has been particularly destructive. He's been abusive. He's abused me physically. He has abused us financially. He stole every single dime from my children. He was driving drunk with my children. He was brought to a mental hospital because he was passed out front of the house with a loaded gun. I'm supposed to have this person back in my house. He's seen 2 psychiatrists. The first psychiatrist diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder, and my ex hates this person now, and it's my fault. This is the thing. Narcissists never accept responsibility. It's my fault that this happened because he's always done this. He convinces himself that somehow I have these miraculous powers. And I'll tell you, if I had miraculous powers, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in. But I somehow have these miraculous powers where I can convince a doctor to put a diagnosis on somebody that isn't true. So because when he went to the psychiatrist, I insisted on going because I didn't want my ex to go to the psychiatrist and lie to him. I wanted to tell him what was really going on. So My ex is convinced that because of the things that I said that were all true, that this is why the doctor diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder. And it probably is, but it's all true. I was telling him facts. So now my ex hates this doctor, will never see him again. So he saw another psychiatrist. This second psychiatrist, who I didn't go to this meeting, but the psychiatrist called me up afterwards and told me he couldn't work with my ex, he wasn't able to do it, that he is severely disturbed, he is a psychopath, that he can't work with somebody who isn't able to help themselves, and that I should be very careful around this person. So this is what I hear. This is what I hear from trained professionals. My own family believe that I should just disregard that, let this person live in the house. My own mother said to me, well, he doesn't have to be in the bed with you. Have him live in the basement. Oh, okay, that's all right. That's a good idea, Mom. I'll just have a psychopath live with me and my children, somebody that I think could kill us. That's okay. That's fine. After all, I wouldn't want anybody to know that your grandchildren are raised by a single mother. Poor you, because it's really all about you. This is exactly the type of trauma that I'm dealing with. This is the type of devastation. This is the support. When I think about what I would do for my own children, it is not even close to that. It's all about them because they're narcissists and codependents. They can't think about anybody else. It doesn't matter. They don't like the way it looks for me to be a single parent. And then my ex will tell people he's going to AA somehow because he's going to AA. That's all that matters. That's it. It doesn't matter that he's not participating in the program. I like AA. I know people who are in AA who have made tremendous progress. It's changed their lives because they work the program. If you're not working the program, I could go to therapy every single day. But if I just sit there and don't say a word and enact no changes in my life, what the heck am I doing? That's what my ex is doing at AA. He's going to AA for narcissistic supply. He's not working the program. He's not changing his life. He's done not one thing. The only thing he does is participate in fun things that AA does. So like he went to a pool party recently, or he goes to barbecues. This is fun. He's lying to these people. He's not telling them that he's ignoring his family, that he's financially devastating us, that he's cruel and abusive, and he's been diagnosed as a psychopath. He's not telling them that. He's telling them that poor him, he wants to move back home, but his wife is so mean and won't let him do it. She just can't forgive him. She can't get over it. I'm not letting him see the kids. Lies, 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 lies. But they don't know us. They don't know that this is the fact. You guys can understand this because I know so many of you watching this channel live exactly like I do. When you are raising a child with a narcissist who's not part of the family or part of the family, either way, you're a single parent. You're doing everything on your own. It's unimaginable, the trauma of this. Once the narcissist is not playing the game anymore, once they're not pretending to be somebody else, once the mask is off, once they're not in the house anymore, you're living the realest life imaginable. The narcissist is off living in fantasy world. You're holding everything together. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. You're trying to raise happy, secure, emotionally stable children against the greatest odds. And on top of that, not only are you trying to do this, you're trying to do this while you are personally, emotionally gutted and devastated. You are trying to basically walk through quicksand while you're taking care of your children. Everything is against you. Every single odd is stacked against you. You don't know how you're going to breathe. You don't know how you're going to make it till tomorrow. Forget trying to raise your children to successful adults. Your children have every disadvantage now. There's no more advantages. Everything that you do, you have to try and rise above insurmountable odds. It is unbearable. I can understand why people give up, why people become addicts, why people are drinking, why people attempt suicide, why people run away from the problems themselves, because it's not what humans are meant to do. It's I don't know how people survive it. It's so bad, but somehow we have to survive it. We have to be stronger than we are made to be to take care of our children. It's only love that holds us together. It is love and faith that tomorrow will be a better day. It has to be a better day, because if it's not, what are you going to do? You don't have anything. That is exactly my situation. That is exactly your situation. I understand that completely. When you raise children with a narcissist, what ends up happening is that their feelings aren't acknowledged. The other parent doesn't care. So their feelings aren't acknowledged. They grow up with crippling self-doubt. They're insecure and fearful. They're empty and depressed, needy. They feel unloved, anxious, shamed, humiliated. And that's just some of what it is. It goes deeper than that. In my case, my ex hasn't been at the house for a year and a half. But when I think about it, and this is the thing, once you are aware of the situation, then you start, going back in time and you start remembering things that you were blind to because you didn't know. Then you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, this is so much deeper than I thought. I remember when he did this, or when he didn't do that, or she said this. That's what happens. And you go over it and over it. And all you were trying to do is hold your family together. So many of us had this dream of this, nuclear family where mother, father, children, dog, the picket fence. We wanted that, and we wanted to believe that the narcissist was a different person than they were, that they were going to change because they told us they were going to. And we kept believing it. Once the stark reality of the situation hits, you're living in a new reality, and it's scary. It's so horrible, and you need more than you're able to have. You're just alone. I feel like I'm alone on this island with my kids, desperately trying to raise them. Now, in my case, I'm very honest with my children about who their father is. I don't sugarcoat it. They know what narcissism is. Now, there's a few reasons for that. One, my kids are a little older. They're 17 and 15. I wouldn't necessarily do this if they were like 4 and 6 or something like that. But they're older. But also, they've had a front row seat to everything. They've seen everything that he's done. They were here when I had to call the police. They were woken up by the police when they came in the middle of the night. They've seen their father attack himself. He was banging his own head on the wall, bloody, bleeding, blaming me. They were interviewed by Child Protective Services. They saw all this. He drove them drunk. They were in the car. They know all this. So there's no way I can say to them, oh, Daddy loves you. He's just going through a rough time. He's hopefully going to get better. And then we can all, have a happily ever after. I can't tell them that. It's not true. I feel like it would harm them for them to think that, for them to have this hope when it's not real. I feel like it'd be like fantasy world. Like if I told them, oh, guess what? We're going to Europe tomorrow. No, we're not. So I can't, it's the same thing as saying, oh, your father hopefully will be better. No, he's not going to be. This is who he is. We're alone now. It's just us trying to move forward. And my kids know this. They understand this. So I'm not trying to be cruel to them, but I feel like it's better for them to know the truth so that we can move forward separately so that they are aware of what's happening. This is why I have to tell them we're selling the house. I don't have a choice. Everything's so real to them. It's such a nightmare. I worry tremendously about what this is going to do to their future. Tremendously. I'm hoping that my love, my dedication to them will make a big difference, but I don't know. I won't know until later. So I can only do the best I can do under the most difficult of circumstances. Recently, over the weekend, I had this beautiful moment that turned horrific. I was outside. It was so lovely. It was a nice day. I was cleaning my chicken coop. I had my 2 dogs out with me. Some of you might know one of my dogs has cancer, and he's doing really well, thank God. But he was out. My 2 dogs were out. They were running around. They were having fun. I was cleaning the coop out, and my daughter came outside, and she said, oh, can I hang out with you? And I was like, oh, yeah, come hang with me. So I was cleaning, and she was petting the dogs and, giving them water and stuff, and then she started talking to me. And she was telling me about this boy she has a crush on. And so we were talking about him. And then, she was telling me about her writing. She's a writer. So she was telling me about something she was writing. Then suddenly her tone changed. And she said to me, now she doesn't call her father dad. She called his first name begins with an M. So I'm just going to call him M. She started talking about him. And she said, why is M like this? Why is he being so mean to us? And I told her, I said, and this is where I'm being honest. I said, he's evil. There's no goodness in him. He doesn't have the ability to love anybody. So he lives his life that way. And it's cruel to us, but he's unaware of it. This is who he is. There's no goodness in him. And then she said to me, what about me? Am I evil? Is this going to happen to me? And then I felt horrible because here I am. She's genetically related to him. It's her real father. So I sat her down and I said, listen, no, not at all. Evil comes over people after they're born. And once it happens, unless they turn to God, they can't get rid of it. I was like, you've seen his eyes before. There's nothing there. He's never had the ability to love. I was like, what about you? Do you love the dogs? Do you love me? Do you love your brother? Do you love your guinea pig? Do you love your friends? And she said, yes, I do. I love everybody. And she started welling up with tears. She's like, I love so many people. I have a lot of love in me. So then I said, see, so you don't have that. It's all right. I was like, the thing is, even when, M was living at the house, he wasn't part of the family. He was always separated. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this has happened to our family. I didn't know, but I'm doing everything to save our family so that you and your brother can be okay, so that we can all be okay. We're going to move forward and we're going to have a beautiful life. Just because M is like this, it doesn't mean that you're going to be like this. You're not going to be like this. I wouldn't let it happen. You have me for always. And she felt better. She felt better about that. But I'm telling you guys this because it's something to be aware of. We can't know everything that our children are thinking. Like my son, he doesn't tell me what he's thinking. I'll try to get him to tell me what he's thinking. I'll try to get him to open up to me. But typically, he just shuts down. It worries me tremendously. This is partly why I'm so worried about having to tell him about the move tomorrow. My daughter tells me every single thing, and I didn't know that she felt this way. She felt there was something wrong with her. She felt dirty because she's genetically related to this person that she hates, and that's a horrible legacy. It really is for our children. We have to remember when they go through these things, they don't have the experiences that we do. They don't have the maturity that we do as adults. But I do want to offer some positive thoughts towards everybody. There are some realities to the situation that are good. It's not all bad, thank God. The reality is kids need unconditional love to thrive. That's what they need. It doesn't necessarily have to be unconditional love from two parents. They need unconditional love. So if you can give your child unconditional love, they're going to benefit from that tremendously. As long as the remaining parent is loving, it's actually better for the child to have only one parent than two. When the other one's abusive and cruel, constant negativity is permanently disabling to children. So if you are able to love your child unconditionally, offer your child emotional support, they're going to benefit tremendously from that. Single parenting is a risk factor. Parenting is hard enough, but the reality, single parenting is going to earn you your angel wings. The risk factor, though, isn't so much that the kids only have one parent. It's because the parent who's left is absolutely overwhelmed. So it's absolutely crucial if you are left, if you're the only parent your child has, you absolutely have to take care of your needs. You can do double duty for your child. So it's like if you're on an airplane, right? And they tell you, put your own face mask on first and then take care of your children. Take care of yourself first, not at the exclusion of your child, but take care of yourself. Make sure that you're happy. Make sure that you're fulfilled. Make sure that you're taking care of your needs, because when you do that, you have more to give to your child. If you're ignoring every need you have, if you don't ever let yourself enjoy things, or if you don't ever have your own life where you're with other adults, you're living, you're enjoying, you're thriving independently, you're taking care of yourself, you're eating right, you're staying healthy, then your child is going to benefit. No child is going to benefit from a parent who completely shuts off their own life. They do nothing but stress. You don't do anything but become stressed out, harried, you're overworked, you have nothing left to give your child. Fill your own tank up. Then you have more to give your child. That's really, really important. Don't neglect yourself. Neglecting yourself directly affects your child. And when it comes to divorce doesn't leave your child scarred. It's the way the divorce is handled. So keep that in mind. You don't have to stay with this horrible person. My parents want me to just stay with my ex because that's better for them. That's not better for us. That's not good for us at all. So it's not so much the divorce, it's how it's handled. So remember these things because there are some positives. If you can take care of yourself, If you can take care of yourself and then you can take care of your children, if you're able to remain loving and strong and confident, that is going to benefit your children tremendously. It really is the only hope that your children have, truly. The reality is, as Frederick Douglass said, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. So think about that. Raise them right while you have them under your wing. Everything can be so much better when your child has an active parent. When you are losing it, when you are so stressed out, you can't even think straight, that's going to destroy your children. Our children all need us, and we have to be there. So take care of yourself. Think about how everything is affecting you so that you can have a positive impact on your children. That's the only hope that we have. We were put in this horrible situation with no control. It wasn't our fault, but it's our responsibility to lead our children out the best that we can. Ultimately, and I actually can't stand this, but it's true, ultimately, this type of devastation will make your child stronger. It really will. Think about children who have this soft, cushy life. They grow up to be losers. They grow up to be narcissists themselves. Our children are going to be better because of it, but getting through it is really an unimaginable horror. So if we all stick together, if we all keep up our mental health, if we all do what's best, that's the only chance our children has. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things related to narcissism. Friday's video, I'll let you know how it went with my kids, telling them about the move. So please pray for me. Truly, I appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. And I will see you all in Friday's video. Have a great day.